I got the 10.
I have to.
All right, you need to go referee.
I have to curb.
Okay.
My lip.
All right. We have our finals. This is men's 4.0 over 50. We have Ryan Outerbridge, Joe Barroso, and Massimo Arzani with Greg Fitzgerald. Sorry if I mispronounced any of these names. All right, first serve. And when that one's in the net, that's going to be a side out. We've got a 0-0-1. Ryan is serving. Very nice spin return from Massimo. Oh, we're getting into some dinking. Oh, not so fast. Oh my goodness, a firefight. That's a point for Ryan and Joe. That'll be 1-0. Okay, it's their first dinking. Oh, Ryan hits that dink into the net. Unfortunate. But we have a second serve. Okay, some more dinking we have here. It's another point for Ryan and Joe. This is Joe's second serve of the match. Let's see what serve he pulls out. Oh no, that one's in the net. That'll be a side out. We are at 0-1. Ooh, a net cord, but Ryan was there. Okay, a nice overhead from Joe. Greg could not get the block back. That'll be a second serve for Massimo and Greg. That will be their first point. So now it will be 1-2-1. 1-2-2, sorry. Okay. We got, Massimo just overshot that just a little bit. It was the right idea. He did go for a poach. I probably would have done the same thing in that situation. The ball came kind of middle. It's his forehand. And that's a side out. Joe's blasting that ball. Greg missed the overhead. That will be a point for Ryan and Joe. 3-1-1. Ryan's serving. A semi-deep serve. Massimo seems to be very good with his slices. Ryan missed that one, but let's see if he can get on top of it. Okay, we're getting to some dinking again. Let's see how long this dinking goes on for. Not very long. We're having another firefight. Ryan takes that overhead. Greg cannot return it. Okay, now it is Joe's serve. Very nice. That will be a side out there. All right, so Greg's serve now. Let's see what he pulls out of the hat. Very nice mid-court serve. Okay. I'm not sure if Ryan called that out or not. It seemed to be fairly close. That is a point. The refs just gave them a point, so it was in. Greg's serve again. 4-2. Oh, that was a very nice overhead from Ryan. He put a little bit of an angle on that one. That was impressive. That's not. Got caught a little bit. Had a little bit of a chicken wing arm right there. I believe that would be a second serve for 2-2. Joe takes that one. Oh, Greg tried to side angle that one. Just missed it into the net. 5-2-2, Ryan and Joe. See, he decided to drop that one. We're getting into some dinking. Their dinks have not lasted long as of up to now, but let's see if we can carry a little bit of momentum. And we're already into a firefight. Greg hits that one into the net, unfortunately, and that will be another point for Ryan and Joe. Joe serving at 6-2. This is the second serve. Okay. That is another point for Ryan and Joe. Now will be 7-2-2. Joe serve again. Very nice serve. Massimo hits a spin return back. Not sure what happened there, but that is a side out. 2-7-1. Let's see if they can climb back. This will be the best 2 of 3 sets. That was an amazing shot from Ryan. He dropped right over the net while both of his opponents were at the baseline. It's a very good shot. 2-7-2. Let's see if they can make it back to 11, as this will be, oh no. Best 2 of 3. There is a little bit of wind today, so I feel like one team is at a slight disadvantage, just a little bit. The wind is not conducive to drops on one side. It's not very windy outside, but there's a little bit of draft, and because the pickleballs have holes in it, it carries the wind very well, very easily. We are at 4-7-2, I believe, second serve. Massimo hits an amazing drop back, and I believe that one is out, Ryan's shot. So it will be 5-7-2 to Massimo and Greg. Very nice serve. It's a decent return. He gets banged, body bagged. Ryan gets body bagged. He cannot return it. I don't think he was expecting it. So that will be 6-7-2. They're making quite a comeback here. They were at 4 with they were down, but they're coming back. Okay. Oh, very nice get back. They switch sides. Very nice. Oh, Ryan could not get that. Oh, that's okay. We have a lot of people out watching. 7-7-2. We are tied for the first time in this match. Greg is clearly more of an aggressive player. He's banging a lot of his balls, but they got a point off of that, so I believe that his strategy worked there. So 8-7-2. Very nice overhead from Joe. Ryan also hits an overhead. It goes off the court. Greg cannot return that. Very nice. I believe that will be a side out. Let's see what the ref calls. Yes, a side out. That's going to be 7-8-1. Ryan and Joe serving. We're getting to some dinking again. Who's going to... Oh, Greg was the first to speed it up. I think it took Joe by surprise, and he kind of shanked that ball, and it went out of bounds off court. 7-8-2, Ryan serve. That serve definitely dropped. He hit a very nice drop there. And I'm not sure what happened there. Greg's calling it out. I think Ryan's challenging it. And I believe the ref called it in. So they get a point. They lost that challenge. 8-8-2. Very nice deep return. Joe tried to make it. He couldn't get there in time. Valiant effort, though. I like the hustle. I like the passion. I really like to see it. I think that Joe's a really great all-around player. Let's see what we have here. Oh, it hit the net cord. That's very unfortunate, but it happens. It happens. It's just something that happens in the game. You either love it or you hate it. So now that was a side out, a 9-8-1. No, that was not a side out. That was a point. So it'll be 9-8-1 now. Greg dropped the ball. Oh, Joe hit a really good shot right just out of Greg's reach. That was a really good shot by Joe. All right, be 9-8-2. Greg serving to Ryan. Ryan, it's a very nice shot. Joe hits it, firefight. Okay, Joe, that was an amazing, amazing reflexes from Joe, and they win that point. Very, very nice. We got 8-9-1. Ryan serving. Okay. He did fire that ball back. He's trying to drop to get into the kitchen now, and he was just a little bit off balance and could not get that shot back. But that is okay. I believe it'll be their second serve. Joe is serving, 8-9-2. They're down 1 right now. I think they can get it back, though. Massimo, I can tell that he plays a lot of padel because he puts a lot of spin on his balls. And I don't know this for sure. Oh, that was out. But he does strike me as a padel player. In padel, I've never played, but when I have seen it on TV and just watching it, there's a lot of spinny motions, and Massimo puts a lot of spin on a lot of his shots. I don't know if I've seen him hit a top spin shot as yet. He could also be a tennis player, but his movements on his forehand drives are definitely giving padel. So now we are at 10-8. This is match point. Joe hits an overhead. It is a very nice overhead. Greg gets it back. Massimo goes for a lob, and Joe hits another overhead, and Massimo cannot return the overhead from that lob. That is an amazing shot from Joe. 10-8-2, still at match point. Massimo hits a very nice deep serve. He's going to take the next hand. Oh, and Ryan deflects the ball off the court, and that is game 1. They will switch sides and be at game 2 in just a second. I believe they get a 1-minute timeout. All right, looks like we're gearing up to start our second match. And the first match being won by Massimo and Greg. So if Ryan and Joe want to push this to the third shot, they're definitely going to have to put in a little bit more effort. I think that the side that they're on now is the harder side just because of the wind, the way that the wind's moving right now. But I think that they definitely have the skills needed to pull it off. So that will be a 1-1, 1-0, sorry. Now it will be 2-0. We've both hit both balls into the net. Ooh, Massimo was a little bit off balance. He ran in and tried to spin around that ball, and I think that he just didn't get enough under that ball to put enough upwards motion on that. I believe that serve was out, and that will be a side out. Ryan serving 0-1-1. Joe hits a very nice angle drop there into some dinking. Massimo cannot return that shot that that Ryan just hit. We've gotten the ball back. I believe that will be 2, or nope, that's 1-1, 1-1-1. Ryan serves. Massimo hits a very nice floaty backhand, comes to the net, and Ryan returns that ball out off court. Second serve here, 1-1-2. It is now Joe's serve. Oh, very nice, Joe. That was out. It was a very good leave. Joe serving 2-1-2. Another spinny shot by Massimo. It's definitely a paddle motion that he's doing where he has his hand, when he brings the paddle out of his hand and kind of extends it. He puts a lot of spin on that ball when he does that. And Joe hitting a drop, well, attempting a drop. Greg tries to short stop Ryan. Ryan gets it back. And now we're in a little bit of dinking. Oh, that was a very good shot. Ryan hits a dink, gives Joe an overhead, which he takes, and it does not come back. They are now up 4-1-2. Joe attempts a lob. Oh, Massimo returns that lob into the net, unfortunately. That would now be 5-1. 5-1-2, second serve. How many more can they rack up? Can we take this to a second match? Massimo also returns that shot into the net, and now we are at 6-1. They have called a timeout. They will get 1 minute. They're probably going to talk about strategy right now. Greg's telling him to breathe. I am terrible at lip reading, so I'm not going to attempt it, but probably got another 40 seconds until they're back on the court. If it were me, my strategy would definitely be to slow this down a bit. I think that Greg is a very aggressive player, and I don't think that Greg likes to play slow just from watching him play right now. And I think that they need to get into a little bit more dinking and have just a little bit more patience and force some pop-ups, which they can then attack. However, I think that Ryan and Joe are doing a really good job right now. I would also suggest that Massimo and Greg just put their serves a little bit deeper to prevent them from getting to the kitchen as fast. The deeper your serve, the harder it is for you to get into the kitchen on your return. So, ref just called a time in. That'll be 6-1-2 to Ryan and Joe. Very nice shot return from Massimo, and he dropped shots that Ryan did not even attempt to make a go for that one. I think he knew that he might not get there, so he did not try. Now we've had a side out. We're at 1-6-1. That was on Greg's serve. He attempted a drop shot just there. However, Joe was not able to return the pop-up that he was given. So now we're at 2-6-1. Greg is serving again. Greg has also attempted another drop shot. Massimo returns. I'm not sure what happened there, but it has been a change of serves. Now we're at 6-2-2. I'm not sure if that was a foot fault or if it just was out. Okay, so Ryan's at the net. Joe, they're in the, Ryan rolled his wrist just a little bit too much on that shot, and that ball did go into the net. So now Massimo and Greg are serving 3-6-2. They call that point, they call that ball out, and now it will be 4-6-2. Massimo serving to Ryan. That was a high serve. Oh, Ryan hits a very nice shot on Greg's backhand. Now Massimo is hitting a lob. Ryan hits the overhead. Greg's drop shots that back. This is, oh no. Ryan just hit his overhead into the net. It's a very easy mistake to make. We're at 5-6. If Greg and Massimo win this, that will be the end of this match. Very nice spinny return. Joe is hitting an overhead. It is lands just out, just long. Now it is tied, 6-6-2. Massimo serving to Ryan again. Ryan's return is in the net. Joe called a timeout. They're definitely over there talking about strategy. So let's see if their strategy conversation is fruitful. Right now they are down by 1-6-7 in the second set. Probably got about another 30 seconds remaining in this timeout. Both teams have taken their timeout as of now, so that neither team has a timeout left. And a ref has called time in. So they will be serving 7-6. Now we have Massimo serving to Joe. He's explaining to them that they've both called a timeout and neither of them have a timeout left. So we have Massimo serving to Joe, 7-6-2. This is a short serve. Oh, Massimo's return does not make it over the net this time. 6-7-1. Ryan serving to Massimo. Sorry, Greg. Greg's return is in the net. That's 7-7. We are tied. 7-7-1 for serve. Ryan is now serving to Massimo. That's a very nice deep return. He is attempting a drop back. Oh, Joe takes the poach, and that poach does not land in the court. That will be the second serve, 7-7-2. Joe serving to Greg. Ryan attempts a drop. The drop does not make it over the net. I think he needed to put a little bit more, just hit that ball up a little bit more maybe. Okay, we're still at 7-7. Greg hits that shot back, gets pulled off the court and gets back before he attempts a lob. That lob is out. Joe has just called that ball out. Seems everybody agreed. 7-7-2, Massimo serving to Ryan. 7-7-2, Greg tries a drop shot. He tries to speed that ball up, and I think that he just wasn't in a position to speed that up as yet. He wasn't at the net, and him and Massimo were very close in proximity. They did not have the court covered. I think that might have been a poor speed up on his part, but it all is not lost. We're still tied. Ryan tries what I would call a body bag, and it succeeds because Greg does hit that into the net. Joe is now serving 8-7 to Massimo. Massimo hits a very nice return. Greg tries a little side swipe. They're into dinking. Oh my goodness, what a get. Ryan, oh. Greg hit the overhead. Joe and Ryan could not return that. They have a second shot to get some more points on this one. The score is now 8-7-2. They need 3 more points to take this to a third set. Oh, Ryan attempts a forehand drive, and he does not make it over the net. We are now 7-8-1, Greg serving to Ryan. Very nice fast drop. Greg cannot get that ball back over, so now it will be 8-7-2, Massimo serving to Joe. Very nice serve, very nice return. We're not taking this slow apparently. Massimo has tried 2 speed ups and that second one is now in the net. That will be a side out. 8-7-1, Ryan serving to Greg. This is a very nice serve there. Joe attempts to drop. Is Ryan going to drop this back? He does try a drop, but it does not make it over the net, unfortunately. That will be 8-7-2, Joe serving to Massimo. Massimo gets the net, no problem. Greg deflects that, blocks that back. And now we are in a firefight. Joe's a little bit off balance reaching. If he had taken 1 step, maybe even half a step over, he might have made that back. But unfortunately, he was doing a little bit of reaching there. That will be a side out, 7-8-1. This is now the second serve at 7-8-1, I believe. Second side out. 7-8-1, Greg serving to Ryan. All right. Okay. That'll be 7-8-2. Greg couldn't get his return back. 7-8-2, Massimo is serving to Joe. Very nice. Very nice leave by Joe. Greg tried to speed that up, and it was just a little bit sailing, and Ryan called it, said to leave it, and Joe left it, and that's resulted in a side out, and we are now back at 8-7-1. It looks like Joe and Ryan are trying to get to the net, and I think that worked for them just now. So that's a point. 9-7-1. Ryan will be serving to Massimo. He put a little bit of oomph in that serve. Oh, that's an amazing get by Joe. Oh, Massimo tried to get it. It looked like he maybe shanked it and brought it right back down. That's 10-7-1. This is match point. 10-7-1. Joe attempts a body bag there. We're into some dinking. Let's see how long we can keep this up. He very much did a very well-deserved speed up there. And that is match. So we will be going to a third set here, and they will switch sides at 6 because that's half of 11, kind of half of 11 technically, 5.5. But we'll switch sides at 6. It's very clear that Ryan and Joe preferred a side in that match, definitely. I think that their better side was the side that they just played on. I think that worked well for them. I thought that they had a little bit of patience, and it definitely worked well for them. I like their communication on the court, and we'll see what happens in this third match. All right, our players are getting back on the court. It's a very cool day in Bermuda today. It is probably in the 60s, I would say. It's definitely colder than 70, but it is a little bit humid. Feels like of 61 degrees today. This is one of our first cold pickleball days. It's been a very hot year. However, this does not stop the sweating. I definitely have been sweating a lot. I played some matches earlier today, and last night And the comments I was getting is that there was steam coming off of my head, even though it was cold outside. I was very hot. It was very cold. You get steam. Well, here we are. We are at 0-0-2. Massimo serving to Ryan. Let's see if any of them can adapt to the other strategies. That's a very good get back from Greg and a very nice overhead from Joe. Massimo cannot return that overhead. So that's a side out. And Ryan will now be serving 0-0-1 to Massimo. It's a very nice deep return. Ryan, oh, very nice. Ryan tries a drop. Oh, a very nice poach from Joe, and that results in them getting a point. That will now be 1-0. Ryan is now serving to Greg. Amazing poach from Joe. That was very amazing. I can't stop thinking about it. 2-0. Greg hit that return in the net, I believe. 2-0-1, first serve. Massimo chops that return. Oh, that's a very, very good return for Massimo. He hits it. It goes right off the court. Ryan did not even attempt to go for that one. So now will be a second serve. I believe Joe is now serving to Greg. Very nice serve. I believe that, yep, that return is out. Joe will serve again, 3-0-2. All right, we've had another spin return from Massimo. I'm starting to expect it. Joe goes for another poach. Ryan did not get that back. I don't think Ryan read the poach fast enough to switch sides, but I do think that that was a very warranted poach from Joe, and it did work. I just don't think that Ryan read it fast enough and got in place, in position. So we have had a side out. We're at 0-3-1. Oh, that was definitely going out, but it worked. He got the ball back, and he won the point off of it. I think pickleball is one of those sports. Something's happening on the court. I'm not sure what's happening. The ref is talking to Ryan and Joe. I believe they were on the wrong side, perhaps. I'm not sure who started the match. 0-3-2. Okay, let's see what we have. Greg does drop that. Ryan screamed at Joe and said no. Joe definitely left it. He listened, and that ball did go out. So that resulted in a side out, and now Joe is serving 3-0-1. Nice return for Massimo. That return definitely worked. Ryan could not get there fast enough and on balance to set himself up for a good shot back. Ryan now serving 3-0-2. Let's see if he, oh, that one went into the net. I was wondering if he would drop or drive that, and he definitely went with the drive, and that drive did not make it over the net. Massimo is now serving to Joe. 0-3-1. Let's see if they can get off zero in this serve. Oh, that's a very nice overhead from Ryan and a very nice setup from Joe. Joe definitely hit a shot that gave them not many options other than to hit it up. The only thing they could have done is not hit it up as high as they did. Very nice. Ryan hit another overhead. He's hitting his angles. He goes back to get the overhead, and that overhead lob is out. So that will be a side out, and Joe will serve 3-0-1. I believe this is the fourth time they've been at 3-0-1. Fourth serve, sorry. Ryan takes that one. It just hits the net and does not make it over. So now Ryan will serve 3-0-2. Oh, that's a very nice serve from Ryan. Joe gets there. He hits that one out. I think he was just a little bit too excited about that one, perhaps. He could have taken a little bit off of that one. That's easier said than done a lot of the times. I would know. Happens all the time. That's a very nice out call. Joe called it out. Ryan did leave it. Very nice. I believe that will now be 0-3-2. Can Greg and Massimo pull off a point on this serve? We're about to find out. A very nice deep serve from Greg. Another one-handed backhand from Massimo. I don't think I've seen him hit a two-handed backhand. Just might not be in his arsenal. But that's okay. A lot of players prefer their one-handed backhands. I prefer my two. I prefer two-handed backhands and two-handed volleys. So that's very nice. It just depends. I think that two-handed backhands give you a little bit more power and control than a one-handed backhand does. However, a lot of players like to hit slice, and that slice is mostly, I don't think I've ever seen a two-handed slice. I think that's definitely a one-handed backhand shot. A slice is very good I think it's very good in singles, especially when you want to have a very floaty return that gives you enough space to get back to middle, or a really floaty serve that allows you, not a serve, a really floaty return that allows you to get up to the net quicker or easier, because if you hit that shot fast, you have less time to get to the net. So I do understand why a lot of players like their slice returns. And it's definitely just player preference. That's a very nice get from Massimo. He got that back, but Ryan had no mercy and shot that ball right back at him, which is exactly what I think most people would have done in that situation. He did put his hand out to apologize for hitting him, which is just good court etiquette in pickleball. There's been a timeout called. We are at 4-0. They will get a minute and they will come back. Remember, we are switching sides at 6. All right. All 4 players are back on the court. Them tapping paddles just now made me wonder, where did we get tapping paddles from? Like, I think that's the only sport where we just tap paddles, and I don't know. I guess it's just like a grounding point between each point. You tap paddles when you lose a point, when you win a point, bad shots, good shots. I think it's just a way of connecting with your partner and just letting them know, like, hey, we got this, let's do this. And very nice. He avoided the kitchen. That was a really good get from Joe. I think Ryan needed to bend his knees on that one. He was a little bit too high for the shot that he hit. And that was resulted in a side out, and Massimo will now be serving to Ryan. Ryan hits a very nice deep return that forces Greg to take a couple of steps back. Greg hits a very nice drop, and he tries it down the line. I don't know. I guess I call that shot a punch. It wasn't necessarily a drive. It wasn't a drop. He kind of just punched the ball, and he punched it a little bit too hard, and that ball did go out, which resulted in a side out. It looks like Joe does not agree with that shot. It looks like Greg tried to call that out, but Joe did not agree, and the ref agreed that it was in. So that's a side out, 4-0-1. Oh, a net cord. Greg is going for his angled drops at the net. It's an angled volley, I would call it. I'm not the most well-versed in pickleball terminology. I only call it what I see. A very nice angled volley there. They're doing a really good job of staying in the dinks and speeding it up when they should. Joe popped it up just a little bit too much just now, which gave Greg the perfect opportunity to take that overhead, and he put that right behind Ryan. Ryan really had no shot. 0-4. They have not been able to get a single point as yet. I'm not sure why that is. But Oh, Joe got out of the way of that shot just in time, put himself in a perfect position to return it, and then let the next one go. So now we are at 0-4-2. Let's see if we can get a point. They're still on 0. Greg does not hit that return over the net. We are now at 4-0-1. Are we going to move off a 4 on this serve? Let's see. Very nice deep return from Ryan. Joe takes the forehand and runs back over to his backhand to get that shot and get it over the net. However, Ryan does miss that one into the net. Now we are at 4-0-2. Joe is now serving to Greg. That's a short serve. Joe does a really good job of getting that back on the volley, and he takes that overhead. I believe that one hit Massimo in the leg. That's what it looked like on the camera. It was a very nice overhead, a very nice finish. We are now at 5-0-2. Joe is serving to Massimo. Massimo hits another curved return, and Greg volleys that ball off of the court, and that will result in a point and a change of sides. I believe that will now be 6-0, second serve. It looks like Massimo and Greg are talking a little bit of strategy. They're not targeting any player specifically, and I think that's just because there's no very obvious weaker player in either team. I think both teams are evenly matched together, and so I don't think that picking on any particular person would exploit any of their weaknesses. However, picking on a person still can have its advantages, even if it's not the weaker player or if there is no weaker player, because most people will crack under a little bit of pressure, and if they have to be on constant alert and they keep getting ball after ball after ball, eventually they will make a mistake. And another way that picking on one player can work is that if you keep going to one player, keep going to them, then switch it up and go to the other player. That player has been out of the point for so long that they're not really on high alert, and it kind of takes them by surprise, and they can miss that shot. It can happen either way. 6-0. Very nice deep return from Massimo. Greg tries to drop shot Joe, but Joe is very nimble and got there just in time. Very nice. Oh, Joe did not get the shot back there. That's a side out. We are now at 0-6. Massimo will be serving to Ryan. 0-6-1, first serve. Very nice deep return from Massimo. Greg, he kind of pulled his back a little bit on that one, and he did not have, I don't think he was in proper forehand drive position. I think he needed to be a little bit more forward. But that was a very, very nice get from George. He got that overhead back, and he had a little bit of flair to it. I think that one landed on the line from my point of view. I think that's their first point, 1-6. That's a side out. Now we will be at 6-1-1. Ryan serving to Greg. Ryan's over there yelling at Joe every time the ball is out. And Joe is definitely listening and leaving the ball and letting it go out. So that resulted in a point, 7-1, and now it will be 8-1. Massimo could not return that ball over the net, unfortunately. 8-1-1. I was not expecting this. Based on the other games that we've had, that shot was definitely going out, but Greg did touch it, and so that will result in a point as well. That will be 9-1. But I'm a little bit surprised with this result. I thought that the other games were a lot more closer than this one is being, and will be surprised if they get off of one at this point. They're not really taking advantage of their serves, and I don't know what their strategy is, but whatever it is right now is not working for them. So either they have to switch it up. All is not lost. They can come back from this. We've seen 9-0 come back and beat and win the game So we will definitely see what happens here. But that was a side out, and we are now at 1-9-1. Greg serving to Joe. That was a very nice return. Ryan takes that poach at the net, or takes forehand, which was the right decision to make because Joe was a little bit back. Joe takes the poach, comes in front of Ryan. He tries a very nice dink on an angle, and now they're into a little bit of dinking. Who's going to be the first to speed this up, though? My bet is on Greg. He seems to have been, yeah. He definitely, I think he has the least patience of all 4 players on the court right now. And I think pickleball at the level that they're playing at right now, I think patience is a very key part. And without patience, your shots better be really good. Otherwise, you're going to speed up at not good times. So I actually got a point. They're 2-9. That one, Ryan hit that one right in the chest. Okay, 9-2-1. Joe serving to Massimo. Massimo hits a very low return that barely goes over the net there. He brings Joe up. Joe gets there, but he put a little bit too much pace on that ball, and the ball did end up going out. So now it will be their second serve, 9-2-2. Ryan serving to Greg. That was a very nice fast serve, had a lot of pace on it. He's hitting very nice overheads, angles, and everything. I could not see where that ball landed just now, but that was definitely a side out point. Massimo will now be serving to Joe. 2-9-1. Okay. Greg hits a very nice drop, and Massimo takes that poach up at the kitchen line, and that gives them the point. So now we will be at 3-9. I thought that was a very great decision on his part. I think that he could do that a little bit more. I think that he would have great results. He was getting scarily close to the kitchen line just there, Greg. That's 3 straight points. We're now at 4-9-1. It might be, I think it's 4-9-1. Greg is shooting that ball back and forth, firefight. Joe is really good. He's not standing down, not backing down at all. That results in a second serve. Now Greg will now serve 4-9-2 to Ryan. Oh, Massimo gets there, and I think he just overthought it just a little bit, and he ended up hitting that one into the net. We're at 9-4. Joe is serving to Massimo. A very nice slice return. Ryan knew that one wasn't going over. The second he hit it, he started to smile. 9-4-2, Ryan serving to Greg. Let's see what we have here. Oh, that was a little bit too much pace on that one. So just out. But we've got 4-9-1 now. Massimo serving to Joe. Joe gets up to the kitchen line. Very nice. Okay. Ryan's a little bit back from the kitchen line, and he hits a very nice angled cross-court dink. Greg sped up that ball down the middle, and Joe called it out. Greg just looked at the ref to confirm the call. Let's see what the call is. Looks like that ball was out. Yep, that ball was out. It's now 4-9-2. Massimo could not return that over the net, and so that is now a side out, 9-4-1. Okay, very nice. Oh, Ryan did a little bit of reaching there, could not reach the ball, and he did not end up reaching it at all. And so that's now a change of serve. Very nice drop from Ryan. They're definitely attempting to get to the kitchen right now. Greg and Massimo are doing a good job of keeping them away from the kitchen. Joe hits a nice shot that ends up hitting the net and coming over, but his next shot is out. So that is now a side out. Oh. 4-9-1, Massimo serving to Joe. Joe is, oh, nope, oh, wow, okay. Very nice, oh, wow. Joe got the angle on that perfectly. He didn't back down. He saw space and he hit the ball into that space right behind Greg, out of his reach. 4-9-2, Greg is serving to Ryan. Ryan returns that ball back to Greg, and Greg cannot get the backhand back cross court. I think he was attempting a drop. 9-4-1, Joe serving to Massimo. They both went for that. I don't think either of them communicated about who was going to take it, and they both went for it, and because of that, that ball did go into the net. 10-4-1, this is now match point. Match point, game point, all the points. 10-4-2, match point. Ryan serving to Massimo. Massimo's return does hit the net cord. Joe does get there in time. However, because Joe wasn't anticipating the net cord, he just overhit his shot just a little bit, and it landed just off the court, just a little bit wide. 4-10-2. You have to win on your serve. Oh, Massimo did get that shot back, which was a surprise to apparently all of them. The crowd is laughing. 4-10-2, Greg serving to Joe. Very nice return, gets to the net. Ryan hits the block. Joe has very good hands. I really like his hands. He hits Greg with that shot. He puts his hand up to apologize, and that will be a side out, and we were back at game and match point. Let's see if they can pull off a win. All they need is one more point to win here. Okay, let's see. We're slowing it down. We're getting to the kitchen. All floor players at the kitchen now. Joe attempts. Greg gives Joe a very nice point, very nice ball to put away. Joe just hit a little bit down on that one and hit it into the net. So we're at 10-4-2. They can still pull off a win on this point. Hits a net. Firefight. Oh, Greg hits a very nice overhead that Ryan cannot return. So that will be a side out, and we are at 4-10-1. This is the second time we've been at 4-10-1. They've had 4 attempts on their serve at this point. Oh, wow. Massimo tried to predict what Joe would do there and went a little bit to the left to try to anticipate his cross court. However, Joe either expected him to do that or saw that he started to do that and went behind him, which is a very nice shot from Joe. Joe gets down. Oh, Greg body bags Ryan. Ryan cannot get it back. That will be 5-10-2. All is not lost for Massimo and Greg. In pickleball, literally anything can happen, and they were at 0. We're now at 5. They can come back. Five, 10-2. Greg drops that. Oh, he went running for that ball to try to get that, but the momentum of him running and the amount of pace he put on that ball did not make it over the net, unfortunately. 10-5-1, match point again. Let's see if Ryan and Joe can pull off a win on this point. Massimo attempts to speed up, and that was very much fruitful. It worked for him that time. So we are now at 10-5-2. Let's see if we can win the point on Joe's serve. Joe drops that ball back. Massimo hits a nice cross-court volley. Another nice cross-court volley. Another firefight. Joe got that back. Ryan's got that one back. Massimo hits another one. Oh my goodness. Massimo, that was a very good play from him. Joe did all he could. He got there, but it just wasn't enough. So now we are at 10-5-1. Let's see how many more points they can rack up. It seems that Ryan and Greg are having trouble finishing the match on their serve. So they're giving Greg and Massimo plenty of chances to get more points. Nice lob from Massimo, returned by Joe. Greg is still not at the kitchen. Very nice lead from Joe. It looked like he did try to go for it and read correctly that it was going out, which is very nice. 5-10-2, Massimo serving to Joe. Okay, Greg, oh. That shot was in. It looked like it landed on the line. So now that will be 6-10-2. Massimo serving to Ryan now. Ryan returns that into net. Now we are at 7-10-2. They're within 3 points of being tied, and I think it's very much possible for them to catch up at this point. I think that Ryan and Joe were dropping the ball just a little bit. Either that or their strategy is just really good. Massimo hit a ball that was going out. He tried a cross-court volley on that one. Unfortunately, he did not read the out ball and did hit it. So that was a side out. We're now at 10-7-1. Match point, game point. Let's see if we can finish it. Joe tries a drive, body bags. Oh, and that is the match. Joe decided to pick on Greg for a second, and that ended up working for them. What a match. They definitely came back a little bit. I think they saw that they were coming back and decided this is enough. We're going to stop right here. But that's a very good match. We have 11-7, 11-7, 8-11. And that's all you're getting from me today. Thanks for listening.
feel your back. Ooh, yeah, because it's a different muscle, isn't it? Yeah. Take it easy.
Okay.